Camera 2, audio's at speed. Barnum interview, take 2.
Okay.
Professional, so well. Yeah, this is my first job in the industry.
Okay, Barney, so post your military career and your SES career now, I know that you do a lot of philanthropy. Why don't you take a couple minutes and tell us about the things that you do you think are important and kind of why you do it and why you pick those organizations.
Well, I've been very much involved with a number of Marine Corps organizations. Marine Corps University Foundation is a great organization. Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation, Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, Segways for Vets, and this is just another way to give back. And I'm not a fundraiser, okay, but I'm not opposed to going out and standing for a group and talking about an organization and pointing out to them the responsibilities of our citizenry to get behind organizations like this, because they're made up of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard who have worn the cloth of this great country, who have, many of them have suffered immensely, physically, emotionally, mentally, and their families, because they have been involved in a war on terrorism. So I give them my time to do that. The Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, for an example, I just came back from Philadelphia where we had a big gala, and the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, General John Kelly, was our guest of honor. And we raised money for the children of Marines, Navy Corpsmen and SEALs, and law enforcement personnel whose parents have been killed on the war on terror. We give $30,000 scholarship funds to these children. Now, if that isn't a worthy thing, I don't know what. You know,
No,
I mean,
you're
that's
right.
just great. Okay, Segways for Vets. I got involved with them when I was Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy, and saw a capability that we needed in the military, and that is draft disability rights advocates for technology. Had segways and for mobility, and so I said, why can't we do this for sailors and Marines? So we formed. I got involved with them from the beginning, and have remained involved. And we've given over 1,600 segways, which gives the mobility back to servicemen and servicewomen who have lost their mobility doing what our country asked them to do. Now, what better way to show our gratitude is than that? And you know, I really got behind this organization because it was founded by a gentleman that lost his mobility, dove in a pool, broke his neck, and was going to be paralyzed forever. But through his moxie and his hard work and his drive and dedication and belief in himself and taking care of others, he can maneuver now. He can get on and off a Segway. And so that's Jerry Kerr in St. Louis. So, and our organization is all volunteers. You know, there's 1 or 2 paid people. But every dollar that Segs for Vets gets donated goes into the program. We got a couple phenomenal board members that with deep pockets that fund the administrative and the travel and such. So it's just a great organization. And we have ceremonies at the Alamo. I'm going down to the Alamo next month and present 30 Segways. And we also now have an alley chair, which is a Segway taking the handle off, and there's a seat on it. Because so many of the troops today in Afghanistan, when they hit an IED, they lose their legs, and there's no stump to put a prosthesis on. So we put them in the chair, and it's gyro operated, and they can maneuver. They love it. And so, as I said, we're giving over 1,600 legs. So to travel around the country doing that, it's just a great organization. And when they call, I go. And then the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation is the same way. I support them because they raise money for scholarships for Marines' children. It's just, you know, the children are the future of our great country. They're the future leaders. So we got to get them ready to take on the responsibilities that we all have done. So that's the reason we hone in on the children and making sure they're taken care of, that they get their education, they understand, that there's no free lunch out there. Freedom isn't free. Your parents had to fight for the freedom, and we got to prepare you to do the same if you have to. Because, and when I go out and talk to people, I'm not asking for bucks, but just tell them, we're at war. Anybody think that this country is not at war? Smoking dope, okay? We're up against an enemy that wants to take down everything you and I believe in, everything our parents, grandparents believed in and fought for. Our government, our way of life, and they want us to turn us into their way of life. Well, we can't let that happen. And so in order to prevent that from happening, we have to have a strong military. And I remind people, no one hates war any more than those of us who have been at war and been shot at. And but we know that if you're going to protect your freedoms, and that's the most important thing we have, our freedoms, we've got to be able to confront, stand up, take action. And as I said, war is horrifying, not glorifying. But our best deterrent is a strong military. So, and those who have served, we got to show them our gratitude for what they've done. We got to take care of them. In my war, Vietnam, when Marines and soldiers were injured, many of us were bled out. But now with helicopters, with life support systems being further forward, the golden hour, as we call it,
Yep.
people are, and that's the good news. We're saving these guys who would have died in my war. The bad news is they carry those scars of war for many, many, many years,
Right.
and go through a lot of pain and agony, as do their families. So anything we can do to make it easier for them, saying thank you for what you've done, and by God, we got to step up and do it. Scott.